What is up, guys? Welcome back to episode 3 of the 1989 RM250 build. My name is Charles, owner of mXrevival and mXrevival.com. As you can see, we got parts everywhere. This build is fully underway. And in this episode, guys, I've got some special stuff for you, starting with a giveaway. So today we're going to have a comment giveaway. Over the next 3 videos, we're going to be giving away 1 set of brand new DecalWorks graphics away to you guys. Leave me a comment, instructions on what comment are going to be in today's video. Once I pick my favorite comment from today's video, I'm going to send you whichever graphic set you want the best. You guys can do a recap on these in episode 1 if you want, but they are pretty badass, super funky. Huge thanks to DecalWorks for always taking great care of me and all of my guys. You guys know you can get a discount on any decal kit you want from DecalWorks. In addition to the awesome DecalWorks decal giveaway going on in today's episode, I'm also going to show you guys how to fully strip zinc off of old hardware. We're going to be using some super gnarly chemicals that you guys can find at Lowe's. And then one more really cool trick we're going to show you in today's video. We're going to take the swing arm, stick it in my dunk tank in a lye bath. I'm going to show you guys how to safely and very easily remove anodizing from anodized parts on your bike. This is always on swing arms, and we have to get it off before we vapor blast the part. Otherwise, our freaking knees are going to buckle while we stand in front of that machine. So you're going to love this trick. Makes it so easy. Of course, more nonsense and shop banter between Double R Gary and I really hope you guys enjoy today's episode 3. So let's get it.
Episode 3, what's really going on up in here?
Oh, we're just finishing up our last pass on these triple clamps.
Yeah.
A little 30 FAR action.
Nice. And what did you think about EP1? Did you get a chance to watch that on them YouTubes?
Yeah, it didn't look like too much of a goober, so I guess we'll keep doing it.
You're getting some fans already.
Yeah.
People love you. Double R rated.
Always.
Got him all shy today, in his face. My man's a little tired today, but look at all this handiwork. Episode 2, guys, we left off with some amazing vapor blasting. Stuff came out incredible. That's what Gary's actually doing right now. He's finishing up the lower triple clamp here. And then I have a few things to get into. Degrease in the parts washer so they can also be vapor blasted. This is pretty much, like I said, where we left off. Kind of what all the other aluminum parts that we just vapor blasted used to look like. Also have a little pile segregated over here for cleaning. Rubber pieces, what have you. If you guys are trying to take these rubber airbox pieces and your radiator hoses and stuff like that and get them really clean, it can be very tough because rubber's impregnated with dirt. You can vapor blast them. If you don't have a vapor blaster, my other favorite thing to do is use some, let's see if I have any out here. No, I don't have any out here. Some of the No Toil brand cleaner. It's kind of like an OxyClean, the stuff you clean the filters with. It absolutely eradicates this kind of scum. So if I get a chance, I'll show that to you guys, but it works on literally anything rubber. There's a lot of stuff like this on bikes. Now while I take all that stuff apart over there, I'm starting a little zinc pile. So anything that is steel, anything that's going to get re-zinc plated, will end up over here. We're going to need to clean all this stuff, then we're going to need to strip the old zinc off this stuff, then we're going to need to prep it, then we're going to need to plate it. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of steel too. As you can see, there are so many pieces like these linkage caps that have some vulcanized rubber on the inside. I don't think that'll affect the zinc. Same with the rubber mounts for the handlebars, similar situation, vulcanized rubber. And then things that aren't even steel modern day. Wheel spacers, nowadays they're all aluminum. So we've got some zinc plating to do, some zinc plating prep to do, I should say. A few little things to clean. Vapor blasting came out amazing. Some dirty parts to clean over here, some more vapor blasting to do over here. And then I have all the rebuild kits for all the brakes, so that's going to be really cool. And then another something kind of special, we need to remove the anodizing from this thing before we can vapor blast it. I know I mentioned it in the previous episode. So today I'm going to go ahead and get that bath ready, combination of water and lye, and show you guys how to get the anodizing loose before you blast stuff like that. So I'll need this big old bin up here. So episode 3 shaping up to be a good time.
Oh, darn right.
And other than that, guys, we've got a few other things that we just need to scrub and clean. We need to go ahead and clean the tank, clean the airbox. I did make our first OEM parts order. I'm going to be tracking all the costs, so at the end of this build series I can tell you guys just how much everything actually cost. And then for you 89 through 92 RM250 guys, I'm going to be doing a little giveaway. So you may remember the graphics kits from Instagram. I had you guys vote. I'm going to be giving away all 3 of these kits Decal Works is going to send me another. The yellow in these kits is just a little bit off. It's like the new Suzuki yellow. I can't get this one out of the damn box. It's the newer Suzuki yellow, so it doesn't quite match the older tank color. And so, you know, we're not going to put those on this tank. And I thought it would be great to get these to you guys if you like them. So how are we going to do the giveaway? It's going to be a comment giveaway. We're going to do 3 of them. Maybe should we do 1 per video, or should we do all 3 in this video?
Ooh, should we go for the 3-piece?
The 3-piece, the trifecta? I kind of think we should milk it and give away 1 set per video.
You don't want to get rid of them all too fast.
You don't want to blow your wad, right?
Yeah.
Like, you want to kind of tease it a little bit, right? I'm with you. So guys, we're going to give away 1 set of graphics, whichever set the winner wants, the winner gets. So it'll be a full set of graphics. I'm hanging on to the frame tape though. That stuff's for me. I need that. So you'll get, you know, radiator shrouds, number plates, all that stuff. There are no fork guard decals in this kit because they didn't run them like that back in the day. I don't have any either. So what's the basis for the giveaway? So we're gonna pick a comment for a graphics kit. What should be funny? Should it be like your best dirt bike memory?
Where was your first mud race at?
Your first mud race?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a really good one. What if they don't race?
The gnarliest ride you've been on? Trail ride? I don't know.
Gnarliest crash. What was your gnarliest?
How many logs did you hop in a day?
Nobody's gonna win that. How about your best moto story? Just tell me your best moto story. And it has to be like 100 words or less. Some of the
5-page minimum.
Yeah, dude, they get to be 5 pages, some of them, which I like.
And then.
Yeah, well, we got some passionate riders, so that's cool. Yeah. All right, guys, those are the rules. 1 kit, winner gets to take 1 of the 3 kits, their choice first, in the comments below. Don't forget to watch the freaking video, though. You know what I mean? You're tired today, huh? My man's wiped out. What'd you do that got you so tired?
On both sides.
Yeah?
Just autumn festivities.
Yeah. Oh.
Football game, tailgating.
Did you have some alcoholic beverages?
I did have a couple.
A couple adult cocktails.
Yeah, and then went to the corn maze.
You lost your phone.
Lost my phone.
You're a wreck. You're like not even ready for my shit today. You're like, this guy's
let's clean some parts.
In my face with the camera. I just got here. All right, guys. So leave a comment below. What is your craziest moto story? We're going to give you 1 of these sets of graphics, 1 of these 3 sets, and then we'll keep doing that as the series goes on. We'll do probably a comment giveaway episode 4 and 5. Anyways, hope you're enjoying this so far, and let's get after it. So I don't know if you guys knew this about Double R Gary or not, but he's a stripper. What are you stripping?
We're stripping some anodizing.
Yeah? Off of what?
Off our swing arm. We have 1 triple clamp that looks like it's got something on there. It's looking a little suspect, so we're gonna give it a bath. Yeah. See if that gets anything out.
All right, cool. Have you ever stripped anodizing before?
No, but this thing only takes 20, so you better pay up.
All right, guys, so Gary's gonna be stripping, not even the evening yet, he's already stripping. So in order to loosen up and remove anodizing very easily from aluminum or whatever else it's on, we're gonna use some of this pure lye. All right, so if you guys didn't see previous videos, the reason we wanna do this is because it will get all the anodizing on the swing arm or whatever else has anodizing on it loosened up. If we were to go ahead and take this swing arm and stick it straight into the vapor blaster over here, it would take forever. Your arms would ache, your legs would hurt, your feet would be throbbing, and it takes forever. So anodizing is typically on the side spars of swing arms, not so much on the cast, although it is on there, it just doesn't stick as much here, so it'll fall off of the rough cast very easy. But like I said, if we were just to try and vapor blast this straight away, it's not abrasive enough to take this stuff off. So we loosen it up with the lye bath first, and what's going to happen, which is really cool, we'll stick this in the bath, and then the lye is going to react with the anodizing, and it's going to turn black, and it's almost as if the anodizing is saying, hey, I'm ready to come off. So we'll go ahead and get this thing spun up, get the bath made, get this soaked. So we're gonna go ahead and check this real quick, make sure it's deep enough. And you guys will notice there are no plugs in the swing arm at this stage. For this stage, we want it to fill with water and become fully submerged. So that's perfect. It's just enough water. The whole thing is underwater. And so I'm gonna let you do the honors. We're gonna take a little bit of pure lye. You guys can get this on Amazon. I will link it below for you. That's 1/3 cup. And just sort of dash it in there. You do not want to put it right on the swing arm because it will burn it pretty bad. You want it to go ahead and get spun up and mixed first. All right, so Gary has spun up a bit of our lye. We're gonna go ahead and drop the swing arm in. If you get this on your skin, you really, really want to avoid it. You want to rinse your skin off.
100%, yeah, you're gonna die.
You're dead, don't even try it. So yeah, keep your hands clean. We should be wearing gloves, so that's, honestly, that's our bad. Next step, it's not that bad. It's not gonna hurt you right away, but it's just not good for your skin. So wear gloves, don't be stupid like us. And then we're gonna check on this in a little bit and see if we have any reaction yet. All right, so what else you got there?
We got our top tower.
And this is a total test because we think there's a coating on it. It looks like there's a coating on it. And then what's this guy here?
This is our sub bar.
A sub bar, yeah, not much of a sub frame. So in she goes, and we're gonna go ahead and put the lid on this stuff and check it in 5 or 10 minutes. All right, while we have everything in the lye bath getting stripped, we're gonna go ahead and kind of clean some parts up, get them prepped for reassembly later, get some things clean for Dean. Clean for Dean. Now I'm gonna start taking this stuff apart after a quick bath in the parts washer. That way I can get all this stuff ready to vapor blast. And once this stuff is vapor blasted, plus all the things we already have vapor blasted on the bench, plus the swing arm we're now stripping, that'll pretty much be it. There'll be a few little things, like we'll vapor blast these fork lugs eventually. Once I take these forks apart, that'll probably be in the next episode. And then we'll be pretty much set on the vapor blasting stuff. Now, as I'm taking this stuff apart, I'm gonna be hanging on to anything steel, like this caliper bracket, this little brake line guide down here, little wiggly little guy. Anything steel, I'll go ahead and put it in this dirty pile of stuff to get cleaned, prepped, and ready for zinc. So in addition to the pile over there, we have all this stuff to do as well. If it's steel, it's getting stripped and re-zinced. Let's go ahead and check in on this stuff, see if we have any reaction yet. Nope, still pretty standard. Start busting all these brake lines loose, get all the old brake fluid out. Impact works great on these screws. So much less likely to strip out if you use an impact. All the McNasty. All right, Double R Gary, you want to see a little bit of reaction, buddy? We got a little bit, not a whole lot yet.
Live action. Live
action. It's because, probably because we used hose water, which was cold. Normally I would use some warm water. This would have gone faster. But see that little, that brake hanger right there? How it's turning black? Bubbles are kind of coming off of it.
Oh yeah.
And then you got the cast part's got a bunch of bubbles kind of growing on it, and it's starting to, on the inside over here, starting to turn a little bit gray. And the welds are starting to turn a little bit gray, so pretty soon this sucker will be black. I don't really see anything going on with the clamps. Again, maybe because the water's a little cold, but we'll give it some more time. But pretty soon everything should be pretty black like that, and when it gets to that point, she's ready to strip. Old school brakes with the dirty fluid. Oh boy. See how nasty the fluid is in this little piggyback reservoir here. Oh yeah, it ain't good, let me tell you. Well, I was getting ready to show you guys a cool little trick, an easy way to pop these pistons out of the caliper, and I'll use one of the banjo bolts with some tape around it to go ahead and close off the brake line inlet hole. Then I like to use a compressor to shoot into this bleed screw here, and it pops the pistons out. But I just realized, something I'd never known, that these old RM250 brakes, probably a lot of old brakes at the time, have a fine thread bolt. I couldn't figure out why my little donor, my plugged one that I use on pretty much all brake systems, wouldn't fit, and that's when it dawned on me it's a fine thread for the calipers. So pretty interesting. I never knew these banjo bolts were specific, so now I'm gonna have to either get these fixed or buy new ones if I don't feel like plating them. Just thought that was interesting. So I'll get this thing plugged up, fixed up, and I can still show you that little piston ejection tip. All right guys, we should be ready to do this trick now. So we're gonna use a little compressed air, and then we're gonna shoot it into the caliper through the bleed screw hole here. I have the banjo bolt wrapped with tape so air can't escape, and then I just bottom it out until the tape hits. And when we force air in here, it's gonna shoot these two pistons out. Now, a little disclaimer, do not ever put your finger in here. I've done it on accident. This thing will come out so fast and blast your freaking finger. I wouldn't be surprised if it split your finger wide open. I actually started using a wrench, and then as these come out, you can use thinner and thinner wrenches, but if one of them comes out all the way, then it's not going to hold air pressure anymore either. So you want them to come out gradually, a little by little at the same time, and you don't want one of them to come all the way out, because like I said, You just have to end up putting it back in order to force the other one back out. So let's give it a shot. Oh, got a little air coming out. Blew a hole in my tape on my banjo bolt there, so I'll retape that and give it another shot. All right, I got some fresh tape on that sucker. Oh, blew another hole in it. All right, we got some fresh tape on there. Let's give this another shot. You guys can see the pistons come up out of the caliper there, and we're about to the point where it's pinching the wrench, so I'll go ahead and put a skinnier one in there and walk it out a little bit more. And there we go. Usually by this point you can get them out by hand. Sometimes it's still really hard. You can use something even thinner. For example, I've got one of these zinc plates, old zinc plate from the plating kit. There you go. They both clicked. And they should be free. Yeah, there you go. You get them to a point where you can get them out by hand. And that is just a trick that is so freaking handy. I hope you guys use that someday. Oh man, it is not pretty in there, guys. We got some nasty debris. Right now I'm getting all the seals out, the piston seals. There's 2 of these in each side. 2, 3, and 4. And All Balls still makes rebuild kits for these calipers. Real cheap too, so don't worry about reusing those old seals. All right, Double R, let's see what you got in there.
Drum roll, please.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we got
reaction. Here, a little stir. Yep. Yep. Still not where we want it, but definitely a lot more than before. You guys saw all the sort of, I don't know, algae looking crap on the top for a minute.
That's a good spot right
there. You go. Yeah. See, I got gloves on. Turning black. So the whole entire thing is going to turn black. And the reason that spot got so black is because I did a chain adjuster repair here where I used the torch and it really weakened that anodizing. So I think that's why it's been so susceptible on the end there to turning black ahead of everything else. You can even see the old sticker marks on there where it used to say full floater back in the day. We'll let her keep burning. Should have used hot water. It actually would have been done by now. What you got going over here, man? You just scrubbing away?
Oh, just going to town on Grandma's bunions over here.
Oh, jeez. Nice. Getting all the dirt and grime off stuff. What are you gonna do? You gonna vapor blast these next? Get all the little crannies?
Yeah, now that we got the heavy stuff off there.
Yeah. Where's your, what's that nasty one you found? Oh, the power valve vent hose.
Crusty.
We're pretty sure we're just gonna find that one a new burial spot. What do you think? R.I.P. brother. There they are in all their disgusting glory. Man, I gotta be honest, these old brake systems, kind of overcomplicated, kind of over-engineered. The newer ones are a lot simpler. I mean, these things have dual pins to hold the brake pads in. Kind of gnarly, kind of unnecessary. The front ones, the dual pins go right through the brake pads. In a lot of ways they're the same, and in a lot of other ways they're just worse. So glad to have these pretty much apart. I need to get a new circlip tool. I have this plunger stuck in here. The tool I have is kind of a piece of junk. So aside from pulling that plunger out of the rear master cylinder, get a good look at those disgusting brakes, because pretty soon, you already know, they're gonna be looking super, I can't even, the contrast is so crazy. It's so awesome. Dude, let's just look at that up close. Yeah, so the Vapor Blaster, probably my favorite tool. Just hands down amazing, unbelievable stuff. Guys, these really truly are some of the nastiest and gnarliest brakes I've ever seen. So gross. Not for long. Alright, so these are quite a bit better now. Not as scummy, but also not perfect. Got all the heavy stuff off. There are still spots like down inside here behind the brake pads. I can't really get that stuff out. Can't really reach it is the main reason. So stuff like that, I'll dry blast first and then get all that crap out of there. Then these bad boys can go into the wet blast, and you guys already know we're not gonna recognize them. You guys know the drill. All right, we got some chemical reactions going on in here for sure. Let's see. There it is. There's the black I was looking for. Okay, so that's what it's supposed to look like. Go figure, water's nice and hot now. Let this sit in the sun for a couple hours rather than bring hot water out to it. And man, that's exactly it. So this stuff, this anodizing, is gonna just fall right off in the vapor blaster. You can kind of see it coming off under my finger there. That's the ticket right there. lye bath, strip anodizing, vapor blast, you're good to go. Not sure if you guys can see the smoke coming off the subframe bar in here. Kind of a trip. Let's see if I can bring it a little closer to the surface. May or may not be able to see it, but same thing. Hot water, lye bath. This thing's ready for vapor. All right, guys, now's the time of the show where we get to play with what I would consider very dangerous chemicals. We need to strip the old zinc off all of this old hardware, and there are hundreds of pieces. And for a quick rundown, I'm taking all these parts and getting as much of the gunk off in the parts washer as I possibly can, using little picks, getting some of the heavy dirt, grease, grime out of the heads, what have you. But for us, and up next, we're gonna take some of this hardware I already have cleaned. There is no dirt, grease, grime, oil on any of these parts, and we're gonna go ahead and take this old zinc coating off, or whatever these coatings are from back in the day. This is probably zinc with a chromate, if I had to guess, of some kind. So we've got all the parts for the bars. We have the rear brake plunger, something you probably couldn't even buy anymore. We'll be able to restore this. Old steel wheel spacers, which are not even a thing anymore these days. They're all aluminum now. Pretty cool. The old Suzuki had a serviceable brake pedal tip that you could actually replace, remove, and so on. I like that. And then all this stuff is just yet to be vapor blasted. So for this part of the show, we're gonna need a few wires. I kind of keep these around for painting or zinc plating or whatever. We're gonna go ahead and hang all these little guys on wires loosely. It doesn't need to be anything special. They're not going to be on there for very long. All right, so we've got a few bits here ready to dunk in some gnarly chemicals. Let's go check that out and see what those actually are. All right, guys, so for this part of the job, we find ourselves outside because muriatic acid, which is what we're using, is extremely caustic and extremely gnarly. You do not want to breathe it. You do not want to get it on your hands. There's some stuff at Lowe's, which is where I got this, muriatic acid green. Sounded to me like it just wouldn't work, so I got the heavy duty stuff. It's only about 12 bucks. So because I do not have a respirator quite yet, we're gonna go ahead and just blow all this stuff away from me as I'm doing it. Put it on a low setting. This is the muriatic acid. You guys are gonna trip when you see what this stuff does. The personality, if I could describe it, is straight serial killer. So let's start with this fully degreased front brake caliper hanger and watch the magic. Now right now it's gonna be off gassing heavily. You just want to stay away from it, let it do its work. So about 15 seconds, you're looking at raw steel. Absolutely raw steel. Pretty wild, right? So after the muriatic acid, this is just distilled water, help neutralize everything. And so you can easily see why we could rapidly get through hundreds of pieces on a complete bike with this stuff. It just works so fast, and the old coating is completely gone. After that, guys, I've just been putting these parts directly into acetone because they are now protected layer free and they will rust if we don't put them in something like that. So I have a few parts started already. And so guys, once I get through all of these zinc parts, we have all the plating removed from literally everything, including all the dirty stuff over there. I'm just gonna throw it in the vapor blaster. The vapor blaster is gonna allow us to get down into these dished heads. Let me see if I can find an example. Something like this. Normally I would go nuts with Cameron's Prime MX pads, especially on the shanks, because you've probably seen some previous zinc plating videos I've done or photos on Instagram where it basically looks like chrome. It's super gnarly. But in this case, I have so many parts to do that we're just gonna hit it with muriatic acid, vapor blast it, and I'm actually gonna batch plate everything. I'm gonna send this stuff out. Normally I do this myself. If you guys want to learn how to do this yourself, it's very, very fun. I will leave a video down in the description below for you. We sell a really cool zinc plating kit that I absolutely love. But yeah, like I said, all this stuff's gonna go out, so I'm excited to show you what it comes back looking like. Now, if you wanna try this, you can use the muriatic acid, of course. If you want something a little more gentle, you've got kids, pets, whatever, that are always up in your mix at the house or wherever, you can use some of this citric acid. It will do the same thing. This is literally just food grade stuff you can get off Amazon. Did a little Instagram reel on this not too long ago. It will do the same thing. It's not as gnarly. It doesn't have the serial killer personality, but it will do the same thing. Takes just a little bit longer, but this stuff was about 10, 11 bucks maybe on Amazon. And like I said, it will get the job done. So give this a shot, or if you want to go super psycho serial killer, definitely try the muriatic acid, but you guys gotta keep your kids and pets away from that stuff. It is just gnarly as hell. Another huge plus to this, at least in my opinion, is that it's extremely fun. So check this one out. This is one of the rubber dampers for the handlebar mounts. These ones go under the clamps. Get a good look at the way that looks now. These go super fast. Into the tank you go.
It does not affect the rubber either, which is really great because you cannot buy these anymore. Well, that was about 4 seconds. That zinc is gone. A little distilled water, completely gone, ready to go. So we'll vapor blast this pretty soon. So the pieces like these with the vulcanized rubber attached to them, I'm not leaving them in the acetone because it will eventually ruin the rubber. So just getting this thing doused in a little bit of acetone, and then I'm gonna have to set this thing somewhere aside dry so it doesn't rust. So now we have a wheel spacer for the front axle. Yesterday I did one of these and it seemed like when I dropped it in the muriatic acid, it started to fizz and do its thing, stopped very quickly, and then kind of broke through the crust and then really took off and started to clean it the rest of the way. So we'll see if that happens again on this one. In she goes. Oh, that's violent. See, it just kind of stopped. Now it's starting to pick back up again. A little bit more smoke. Now guys, I got to give credit to my buddy David Allen. You guys know him as Throwback MX on Instagram. Before the muriatic acid, I had only tried the citric acid. So Dave, thank you for the tip. This is much faster. All right, let's see what we can do with one of them strip bolts. Well, guys, I'm also thinking it's a pretty good time to do all the steel hardware now because I'm sure my media is sort of at the end of its life right now. I've done a lot of aluminum, so really good timing to dump the dirtier stuff like this into the cabinet. And after all the steel, we'll go ahead and refresh the media. All right, let's see how we did. Guys, the stuff stripped off immediately, so fast. That thing is 100% stripped and ready to go. Important to note that if you see any haziness or little splotches of zinc left over, you're gonna wanna keep blasting, or maybe you need to run it in the acid bath just a little bit longer, but this sucker is ready to go. It's ready for a brand new plating. Only problem with it now is as it is raw, it needs to be protected so it doesn't rust before it actually gets to the plating shop. And so for that, you could go ahead and put all your clean bolts like this into a new bucket of fresh acetone. That would totally do the trick before you package them up and send them out. Definitely quite a bit of contrast going on there though, right? Pretty much looked like that before. Actually, this one was a little bit worse, but you get the point. Awesome stuff. Now, while we're already working in the blaster, I may as well show you the end result of how this anodizing removal trick works out on the aluminum. So let's go ahead and throw this thing in the vape. Sucker's gonna come out mint. All right, let's check out that bar, see how we did. Yeah, not too bad. Nice and shiny. So that's what the swing arm should come out looking like. This is actually not quite as shiny as I thought it would be. I think the media is sort of nearing its end of life. So when it stops cutting as fast or cutting as bright, a little more flat, then you can kind of tell time for a refresh. Although it still does look pretty nice. Anyhow, that is the fate of this anodizing soon. Looking good, guys. That is a few bits of hardware fully stripped with muriatic acid, then sent through the vapor blaster. This stuff is going to replate so stinking nice. I already don't even recognize it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching episode 3. I really hope you enjoyed it. All this stuff here, some frame helicoils, some engine cover removal, etc. This is all actually episode 4. We're doing a little bit of filming for that as well. So you'll be seeing this stuff really soon. Also, we're moving this weekend. Might have a little gap in this build series, but not to worry. We'll still be crushing it behind the scenes, and I'll be capturing everything I can so I can still share it with you guys in EP4. If you want to get caught up on the rest of this build so far, when I bought the bike, first time I rode it, first teardown video, all that stuff, go ahead and check out this playlist right here. It'll get you fully caught up. And until next time, guys, I really appreciate you spending your time with me today. Shred safe, and I will see you soon.